Hello, my country people them. Now, our countryman, the Kumkumasa, the Igwe, the king of all the black legs, I don't come again. I don't come for Tori with Una. As Una join, Una know the usual routine. Una march fire for the Sheram. I want to start by apologizing. Say I come late. I'll be about 22 minutes late for this live broadcast. Now, pardon me. I get a very, very good reason why I come late. Time now for London. Now 23 minutes past 3 for afternoon time. And at the same time, that will get time for Cameroon. Una if you hear me, una send up for comment section, say una dey hear countryman. Una copy the link, una share and make it go far and wide in all una WhatsApp forums them. Yes, MKPD is live. I don't come again. Una share them, una share. Share as you join. My country people them. Share as you join. Today, I will talk about the former British Southern Cameroons, their independence in 1960, and the implication on 1961, and the implication where we get them up to today, and why we would experience the Anglophone madness will go on now, Ambazonia terrorism and whatnot. We will talk about all that one. I will explain it for now. The brief history, I will try to be brief. The brief history of what will happen for 1960, even 1955, even all the way back to 1884, 1916. We'll talk about 1972, talk about, I will try to be brief, talk all the way to present day, how it affects we, 11th of February 1961 and the rest. When I march fire for the Sheram, I contribute them, I come, I try for Sheram as well, because I be about 22 minutes late. A lot of people, they be wait for the live broadcast. I sorry say I be late, but the reason why I be late now, because they will get petrol and a diesel shortage for London right now. And I go now for 3 different petrol stations them for go buy petrol, and they don't get petrol for day. I be lucky, say I go now for the number 4 petrol station. Now for day now way I go and they get petrol for day. So we'll get a chronic shortage of fuel for the UK at the moment. So I don't just share them in our country people WhatsApp groups them. So we know say the Calvary in the camp. We know say the black legs that they assemble. As we join, we march fire for the Sheram. Today we will talk about the history, a brief history of the former British Southern Cameroons, what will be happen about the so-called independence where they get them, and how it affect all we Anglophone Cameroonians them today, 2021. My contribute them. We will talk about all of that one. We'll get police motor for here. So, okay. Sorry about that one, my contribute them. Sorry about that one. So I want to take right here. Are they right now? So now for the city of Westminster, for central London, also the House of Parliament in the hold. I come on for get a meeting today. So I then now on my way to my destination, wherever I go. So when I see countryman be very busy. Okay. After that meeting, I don't turn around this city, just looking for somewhere to fuel the car for put petrol. Now why that way I be 22 minutes late, my contributor for when they join now, make una understand why countryman it be a few minutes late. So as una join una match fire for the Sheram. But before we continue, my contributor, I want to play for una the Kumkum anthem. Una listen, and then Cameroon national anthem go follow.
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror. and your blessing shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
Thank una plenty, my country with them. Right in front of una, na the House of Parliament that for UK. And that statue where when I say I'm so na Nelson Mandela statue that. And as at the road where they take now, it go towards Buckingham Palace, where now for the Queen of England, it is staying. So I go drive by, we'll pass by Buckingham Palace, and then we'll continue buying our business. I begin go where they go. I just give a brief tour of London. So are they right in the heart of central London, United Kingdom, okay, Great Britain, and Northern Ireland. So my contributor them today, now the 11th of October 2021, when a Monday, and a day inside central London. Today I decide for bring una a presentation about what way it happened for 1960, where it messed up the Anglophone zone, the way it did today. The consequences of things the way they happened decades ago, maybe even a century ago, before they born some of we. Now way it make some of we would die today. So I would give una the brief history. I know say the Amber terrorists them, they don't ever share una the truth and the reality about this part of the history. Unfortunately, the road ahead of me it be closed. So I be forced to take a detour to the left. So I would turn left for here. Maybe we'll not see Buckingham Palace for this live broadcast today, but maybe another time I will show you Buckingham Palace, which is where the Queen in the live. So for continue with the presentation, my contributor, the history of the former British Southern Cameroons. Now what I would therefore talk about, and why we would get the Anglophone crisis and the situation where it did inside the Anglophone zone today, where a lot of people they kill themselves and whatnot. Make I explain something for you now. Okay, the Europeans, they become Cameroon for 1884. That one is been at the Germans, and at that time they be called the territory say German Cameroon. They spell them with a K. 1884 when I mark that date. So now the Germans, they be there for Cameroon for about 31 or 32 years, okay, before now the start of the First World War for 1912, if I'm not mistaken, 1912 to 1916 years. So now the First World War, 1912 to 1916, Germany lose the war. And now France and England, they be attack Germany for 1912 during the First World War. They beat them, they defeat them, they moved them out of Cameroon. Now, Germany, it be defeated. England or UK and France, they now decide to divide the spoils, as they be called Cameroon at that time. It be been a property for them as far as they be concerned. Not forget today, so just the name Cameroon itself, it first of all originated from the words Rios dos Cameros, river of prawns. They named that territory after River Wuri. After the first Portuguese, they be land for River Wuri. They see plenty jangara, prawns. Where me over like I love for chop jangara. Maybe now why that? Because I be true Cameroonian. Now jangara they run through my belly, and green, red, yellow they run through my veins. So now the Portuguese, they name that, they call them say Rios dos Cameros. And from the maps, the way they start drawing from then, they recall that particular territory say Rios dos Cameros. Now, when the Germans, they come for that territory now, they shorten them. They don't call them Rios dos Cameros because they're Portuguese, they write them as way a German person write them Cameroon with a K and with UN. Now, the French and the British now, they can't drive the Germans out. They tear the country apart, now divide them amongst themselves, and then now for the very first time, they began where they call them, say, the French Cameroon and the English Cameroon. Now, at that time, we will get something where they call them, say, the League of Nations. Maybe we not understand. Now, after the fall, and then now, okay, fast forward the clock now to 1939, okay? 1939. So now, the Germans, they be there for Cameroon from 1884 to 1916. Now, just about 31 years, where the Germans be there Cameroon. And in that time, they build bridges, they build roads, they build CDC, or which way they call and say plantations back then. They build even that government, that big mansion way there for Boya, where Ambashi no one last, they always talk saying that their state house or whatever nonsense. Now the Germans, they build them. Okay, may wanna understand that one. Now my country people them. So now only 31 years to be there for Cameroon. No? The British, they take over that territory now from 1916 to 1945 at the end of the Second World War now. Now, how many years that when I work them out? Now, about exactly the same length of time where the Germans, they be there inside Cameroon, 30 to 31 years. And in that time where the British, they take over that territory now, what did they do for that territory? Good question. Now, from 1945 now, the end of the Second World War, something where they come up with now, they call them, say, the United Nations. Now, the United Nations, it replaced the League of Nations. Now, Cameroon, whether now French or English Cameroon, because now only one Cameroon there, German Cameroon now one. So now, the German Cameroon now, British and French, they be divided amongst themselves. Now, the League of Nations, it be given to the French and the English as what they call and say a mandate, a territory, a mandated territory for them for govern that territory. Now, after they formed the United Nations at the end of the Second World War for 1945, now the mandate it changed to what they call and say trusteeship territory. Now the word trust it be very important. So the United Nations it be trust Great Britain for administer and control the territory of the British Southern Cameroons, okay? And the United Nations, it be trust France for administer and govern the territory of French Cameroon, or La République du Cameroon, where we know them for 1960. So now, for that 1945 as well, one of the main objectives of creating the United Nations now for stop international conflicts them. Now for try for bring the world together, for help make and say many people they need to fight, they be one for stop and for prevent the next world war. Okay? And one of the reasons where this country they be over fight now because of these colonies and stuff like that. So one of the ways the way they be come up with for stop or for prevent the next world war, now for say they could decolonize all these other countries, the way European so-called powers, they will colonize them. So one of the biggest objectives of the United Nations, now the decolonization process. So now for 1945, the United Nations, it trusts Great Britain. Me, I didn't have for London, capital for Great Britain. The United Nations trusts Great Britain for prepare the British Cameroons for their independence. Now wait, now why did I call and say trusteeship agreement? Now the agreement that where the United Nations began them with the United Kingdom for prepare the British Cameroons for their independence. And it also trusts France for prepare the French Cameroon for their independence. Now 1945 they give them that trust. Now they will give them timeline. The trusteeship agreement it will expire by 1961. Okay? So now, what did France do? France it try on for prepare the French territory, French Cameroon side for their independence. And by the 1st, by the 1st of January 1960, French Cameroon again independence as a sovereign state. Okay? French Cameroon again Iweti independence as an independent sovereign state with the own head of state president, with the own national anthem, with the own flag, with the own currency, with international borders, with embassies around the world, internationally recognized, with the own anthem, with everything where any other country need them, with the own military, with everything, flag, anthem, military, money, currency, president, House of Assembly, the Republic or La République du Cameroon again independence. Now France, okay, France prepared them and they gained their independence. 1st of January 1960. I hope I don't emphasize that one, it be clear enough. Now, when it comes to that issue now for the British Southern Cameroons, they want to ask Britain. They say, Britain, this territory, the British Cameroons, when I don't prepare them for independence, Britain say no. So now Britain, they go report to the United Nations, say this territory of the British Cameroons, it not be ready for getting independence as a self-governing autonomous state. I hope so when at the year, it not get nothing for do with France, it not get nothing for do with La République du Cameroon. By this time, when I get to understand, say, as I don't already talk, French Cameroon, if you don't already get the independence, if you don't already get a seat at the United Nations. So now when it comes to April, or when it comes to the latter stages of 1960, when the United Nations Security Council will debate about the decolonization process for Tanganyika and the British Cameroons and the rest of all those other territories then, Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, it will get a vote for United Nations. Okay, my contributor. So now what will happen now? Say what? Britain, now ye fuck we up. Now you go tell the United Nations, say this territory, it not be ready for getting independence on their own. So now where they talk say now, the only option now for this territory for either join Nigeria or they join Cameroon. Now the United Kingdom, Great Britain, now them go talk, ma talk them again how many times? Now them tell the United Nations, because ma tell you something. I get a conversation with Beltus earlier today where Beltus asked you, say, you know the one reason why wait for that plebiscite on the 11th of February 1960, that plebiscite on 1961, where they be asked our ancestors and our grandpa them this question: do you wish to achieve independence by joining La République du Cameroon, the independent La République du Cameroon? Because by that time, Cameroon had already been an independent state. Or the second option, do you wish to gain independence by joining the Federation of Nigeria? By that time, Nigeria getting independence now for June, where Cameroon get it own now for January 1960. So now, when they ask them that question, why they never get a third option? Now the question that, why was there no third option? Why the United Nations, if it decide for ask our ancestors them, our grandpapa them, for either join Nigeria or join Cameroon, why didn't we get a third option for go their own separate ways as an independent state? It's a very simple question, and the answer be simple. Now because say Great Britain, the country where the United Nations, if it trust them for prepare this country for independence, it no be do your job, it no prepare the country. When you talk say this, so the country, it no get educated population for fit manage their own affairs. Not true. Anglophone Cameroon began now how many degree holders then for 1961? How many? And then ask yourself, say, why did nobody get degree holders then for 1967 or 1961? Okay? The United Nations, it will give Great Britain 16 years for prepare this country for independence. From 1945 to 1961. 16 years. Wait, means say wait. If Pekin be 20 years old, at that time where they will give them that trust for prepare that country for independence. Any Pekin will be now 20 years old. Even if that Pekin don't know how to read or write, therefore still send that Pekin for school. If I do 6 years standard 1 to 6, a go primary school learn for read and write. If I come over, they go secondary school 5 more years. Now still only 11 years that. It go finish secondary school. Go for high school 2 more years. Okay? Now 13 years that. And then go university 3 years. Now 16 years that. Wait, means wait. By the time where this country want get independence, if that became be being a 20-year-old illiterate, wait, no first even know his name. Within 16 years, Great Britain for don't prepare that Peking for being minister for that country. Yes. But what did Great Britain do? Nothing. Nothing. Even the CDC, the plantations, the way they get them now, we don't know palm oil, CDC, rubber, banana, all those things there. Now Germans, they build them for Cameroon. Now Germans, not be British. Now Germans. Okay? Now, I will come to that part for Britain itself. When I don't hear about the Eastern regional crisis, the Nigerian Eastern regional crisis, I might explain something for you now. I might explain why the United Nations Resolution 1806, where they behold them for April 1961, that resolution it not only pertain to what do they call them, to the British Southern Cameroons. It pertains to the former British Northern Cameroons as well. Why? Because the United Nations in agreement with the United Kingdom, it be been for one territory, the British Cameroons. It not be 2 agreements them. Because now the United Kingdom now, it can't take the British Cameroons, it divide them into the Northern British Cameroons and the Southern British Cameroons. Now the United Kingdom do that one. As far as the United Nations it be concerned, now just British Cameroons. Make you understand that one. So now, time where the UK, just imagine Nigeria, it be been a territory or a British territory. At that time, Nigeria been a British territory. Imagine the size, the population, and the wealth where there for Nigeria. Now, compare the Anglophone part of Cameroon, Northwest and Southwest. Even if you add the British Northern Cameroons, add them, compare them, contribute them. See how tiny we will be compared to Nigeria for that side. So the British, the truth I say the British, they don't care about we. They don't care. Now why the way they don't send none of our picking them for school. They for give scholarship even for 10 picking them. Say me they can't study for university for UK. It bad now how why they not build university inside Cameroon? Or even if they not build inside Cameroon, why the British they not build university inside Nigeria, their biggest territory next door, and then can't take like 10, select 10 picking them for that British Cameroons, send them for that university, maybe they go prepare them for can't rule the country for independence. Why the British they not do them? Now because they don't care. When I hear them no, when I hear them fine, they don't care about we. They take we, they join them, just attach them to Nigeria. Now so they be govern we. Now so the British people them, they govern the British Cameroons. They just take them, dash them for Nigeria, just attach them for them. Find place go them. So now, what papa them might tell una something where una don't know. What grandpapa them, what parliamentarians them for 1955 to 1957, they commode them for the Eastern Regional Assembly. Because what grandpapa they will go for National Assembly, they will elect what parliamentarians them for Momo, for Nkokechunja, for Bui, okay, for Mezam, for Fako, for Meme, they will elect what parliamentarians so they go hold for that assembly now inside Nigeria for Enugu. Because the British, they will just attach with to them. They just take that territory, just dash them to Nigeria itself. Now what did that be happen? So, and what grandpapa them, time where they will go meet up what brothers to the west for Nigeria, they where the Nigerian people they mistreat the Cameroonians then for they the few people the way they alive today, they could tell you, they could confirm code. And if you not believe me, when I go ask, maybe what other brothers they still in Nigeria till today, the former British Northern Cameroons, maybe they go join Nigeria, they vote for join Nigeria now, where them they? When I go ask the British Northern Cameroonians and now, say how life for Nigeria. When I talk about marginalization, when I talk about assimilation, when I talk about the territory just disappear, they just take them, join them, divide that Northern Cameroon into 3, join them into 3 separate states, so they're not even there in one. Like how Cameroon La République du Cameroon treat we with respect, like an entity. Yes. Okay. So now, our grandpapa they will get experience of dealing with Nigerians for 1955. Now for them we will get that Eastern regional crisis where the Anglophone parliamentarians them collectively, many of them, John Goat Foncha, Endele, and all these people them, their highest qualification are primary school grade 1 teacher. Now the people then that way the British they be prepared for can rule Cameroon. Grade 1 teacher them. But at that time they be been at the highest qualified people them. At least they be feel write their name, they be feel read. Wait till the British they do for Una. Wait till how they prepare that territory for getting independence. The trusteeship agreement where United Nations trust them for prepare that territory for 16 years. 16 years, no be biscuit, no be granite. They do it. They can rape, collect all raw materials them. Even the small industries them, CDC, the agricultural sector, all things. Now the small one where the Germans they build them. And the Germans are the most racist people them on this world. Now the small things the way the Germans they invest for Cameroon, the British they just come for them, they rape. 1961 or 1960, they go tell United Nations, say, these people, they don't be ready. They don't be prepared. They don't get the population. They don't get natural resources. They don't get land. The country first small, and then they don't get them educated people the way they feel hold positions for become a viable, sustainable country where if you stand on your own. Now the British, they fuck we up. When I hear no, now the British, man talking for which kind of language? Man talking for English, British. Man talking for French. Na British. Now they fuck we up. When I hear no, if I be no Italian for talk am. Jesus. Okay, now make I continue. So now, time where the British they go tell United Nations say this territory no be ready. John Goat Foncha, Endele, and all these other Anglophone politicians them at that time, they do everything in their power for change the British their mind. John Goat Foncha, it take plane, okay, KLM, Royal Dutch. It take plane from Cameroon. A fly come for London, this London where me are they in right now, so for can discuss with the British authorities them. He begged them, John Goat Foncha, Endele, the all them. He begged this British people them, go on his knees, beg them. Say me they give we number 3 option so that we could stand as an independent country on our own. John Goat Foncha try to convince them all kind style and tell all man, tell them say we could be in an independent country, we could fit survive, we could do anything. The British they say no. Hell to the no. We not be ready, we not be viable, we not go survive. Una must join Nigeria or una go join La République du Cameroon, independent country. Cameroon be don't already be independent, and they do a thing, and they mind the business they go, and no care about una. Make una understand. Una understand? Una hear no? Okay now, as I be explain, the Eastern regional crisis, if we don't teach what grandpapa them, they can't fashion how Nigerian people they be. If time where Cameroon be still there under the British, I mean the Southern Cameroon be there under the British, and Nigeria they under the British, and we'll get the same regional assembly, we'll go inside the regional assembly, these grade 1 teachers them, Endele Muna and Foncha and the rest, they get enough sense. They organize themselves. They talk say no way, no how. Will not fit ever cope with Nigerian people them. The way where they retreat we, first of all they get population pass we, they go just marginalize we, they go just swallow we up. We no go ever get no voice, no culture, nothing. They decide with or without the British people their permission. Okay? The Anglophone, the Southern Cameroonian parliamentarians them, they withdraw from Enugu Parliament. Commot them from Nigeria, come them back inside Boya. Can't talk say they go set up their own parliament inside Boya. They no go listen, they no go sit parliament inside Nigeria. For tell you how much they don't learn sense based on evidence, the treatment when Nigerian people they treat Anglophone or the Southern Cameroonians for Nigeria. They run from 1955 to 1957. Now the Eastern regional crisis that where it almost even stopped the independence of Nigeria. Yes. At that time, between 1955 to 1957, the United Kingdom, it be actually the consider for send military troops into Nigeria for take over the territory. Because that way they believe say the locals, they start to run their own affairs, they create parliament and all those kind of things then, and then they can't get this Eastern regional crisis and all these kind of things then. Britain will be threatened for go back into the territory where they don't they give them autonomy small. Yes. But tell now how serious the Eastern regional crisis will be. Now our grandpapa them, the parliamentarians them from Northwest and the Southwest region, back then they will call and say the Southern Cameroons. They come on run. They run Nigeria, they don't look back, massa. Yes. Our grandpapa they run Nigeria, they don't look back, massa. Ma tell una something. We don't experience Nigeria. Okay, now why may I even tell una this particular issue about Nigeria? Now because say when we're the British now, they be talk say Cameroonians or Southern Cameroon, they must join Nigeria or join Cameroon. It was a very easy choice. It be been the easiest decision for the people there for the Southern Cameroons. Very easy. And now why that way they vote by a majority of about 70-something% for go join their brothers them when they're Francophones. Because they don't already experience living with Nigerians. So now, when Francophone man, it tell you, say, after all, now when our papa they be vote for can't join we. No vex. Now the truth. Where to be the alternative? Ask yourself. Where to be the alternative for 1961, 11th of February, 1961? Where to be the alternative if our grandpapa they no be vote for can't join our brothers them across the Mungo? Where to be una other option? Ask yourself that question. Where to be una other option? For go join Nigeria, thunder fire any person who even think that direction. Thunder fire you 3 times. In fact, the thunder will get to fire you, it get to be fired by thunder. Just to prepare you for the firing. Una understand? Now the British, they fuck we up. Now the British, they fuck we up so. So it not be been the easiest decision where any person if you ever make them. When they be talk say, when I go join a Cameroon or go join Nigeria. All man say better na Cameroon no. Who don't experience Nigerians them. Better na Cameroon. So when Francophone man tell una say your ancestors chose to come and join us, did we beg you? They are right. No man they be beg una. Say una can't join them. No. If they don't beg you, go you know, go. Una for go for whose side? For Nigeria. Now the only other option that. Una for go na for whose side? For Nigeria. Now in that. So when Francophone man talk say, now una be vote, una choose for can't join we not be invite una for our country. Now the truth. And make una understand, I don't hear Anglophones that make this statement say, we can't join that union for 1961, 1st of October, as equal states. Lies, lies, lies. You were not equal. You were not equal states. One country, it will be independent, a sovereign state, with the own anthem, with the embassy, with a seat at the United Nations, with the president, with the national anthem, with the constitution, with the parliament, with everything. They didn't mind their business, they didn't live their life for 1 year, 10 months before una can join them. That is just the truth. Now just the truth that, a lie? That is just the truth. Before una vote, United Nations, na United Nations, it will hold the plebiscite. Now Britain, it fuck we up. It giving only 2 options. Our ancestors, they will make the best decision. Okay? They will make the best decision. Like today, we've been a Nigerians them. We now cry assimilation. Just imagine if our ancestors, they will vote for go join the Nigeria. We now cry assimilation. We can't tell me. No be France. No be Francophones. Now the British. Now, I don't hear Anglophones, they talk about Anglo-Saxon education. Anglo-Saxon education. Say the British. So they want to change the name of Limbe to Victoria. The name of a British queen Queen Victoria. They want put British where they fuck you up. The same British where they fuck you up. They fuck you up to tell fuck am today when I still suffer the fucking. Eh? What is being wrong with una Anglophones? Today when I still feel their kindness for una shit hole, and when I still want honor them, when I still want respect them, when I work I talk about how Victoria, when I work I talk about how Anglo-Saxon education. Now which university the British they live on for una? Now which educational system the British they live on for Northwest and Southwest? Una name one university. When me I tell una say na Pobia it create University of Buea, una the vex. Not true. Even in 1993 they create University of Buea. When I tell una say na Pobia it create the University of Bamenda, not true. Una want my choke. It's just the truth. Una hear no? The Cameroon educational system will get them, not be Anglo-Saxon educational system, now Cameroonian educational system. And I talked this thing with Belchis earlier today. They begin to talk say no Cameroon, but the educational system will get them now France. Wrong. France, okay, even if the French system, maybe the French they tried the set up educational system for Francophone Cameroon before they come out. Tell me now which educational system the British they live on for una before they go. Which one? Tell me. Master, some person say, man, stop the fucking. I am not angry. I am emotional. But, you know, just a little bit. Okay, yes, a little bit I am angry. I will accept that one today. No, but now the truth that, man, talk am. When I want me to sanitize them, me I take Omo, rub them inside the thing, clean and forgive una. If they wash shit for Omo, it don't go so be na shit. Na shit. The British, they fuck una up. And when I dey here, when I hail them, some person talks say Cameroon 1, Mozambique 0. Good. Cameroonianness. So now, all the institutions where we get them, the roads, the infrastructure, the economy where Cameroon don't build them today, the small development we will get them, from the GCE board for Buea, now Cameroon government, this same Francophone Cameroon government. Now them create them. University of Buea, now this same Cameroon government. Now our educational system where we set them up inside Cameroon, Cameroonians they set them up. No mean British, the British don't leave nothing. Okay, me wanna tell me, besides that language, English, where to be the heritage, besides Amazonian terrorism and English language, where to the British they live for una? Una answer that question for comment section. Una answer them to una self, una discuss. Where to the British? What is the legacy of the British rule inside the former Southern Cameroons? Where did they live now? They live some building, they live na some bridge, eh? They live na some university, some center of education and culture. They build museum, eh? Where did they do some innovation? What did they do now? What did they give now? Time where they live. When British they want to leave Hong Kong, they leave airport, they do this and that. Where did the British they live now? I don't hear some person talk say we will get what do they call them? Power cam. Power cam will produce electricity, go reach for Usai. Even if like how Minister Mbayu be talk for Bamenda. Power cam no be if you come on now for Limbe or for Usai end for Muyuka. Eh? It no be first cover half, 1/4 of Southwest. Then before begin talk about Northwest. Talk about power camp. Power camp now wait. Today you wait there for your bush village for a Soata. For Libya Lem. May I not pick on Beltus them. When I not get electricity for them, now power camp. No mean that this same Cameroon government, Francophones them as when I call them, no that them bring the electricity as the overhead una. Every single subdivision inside Cameroon now get at least a secondary school, high school self. At the very least, now the British they live them, now they build them. Even when I complain, say when I see school, they know school no get building, it no get teachers. They try. The British they do that one. The una almighty British they do una that one. They live una waiting, nothing. And even the small schools the way they be there around like Sase and the rest, now mission. Now not even government, not even the British, now mission. Ah, massa. Me now understand. You want to talk about Anglo-Saxon education. Anglo-Saxon education. Which Anglo-Saxon education? Eh? Which Anglo-Saxon education? They live on a weti. So my contribution now just the basic history that make una understand. Like my just recap small. 1884 the Germans they come. They get one Cameroon. 31 years later. after the end of the First World War, the British and the French, they moved Germany out of Cameroon. They divided the country amongst themselves. That time, before the Second World War, we will get what they call and say the League of Nations. Now that territory now, for 1916, they were British and the French, they take over that territory. That time they will call that territory, say, a League of Nations mandate territory. Now, after the Second World War, they formed the United Nations. The United Nations now create what they call and say the United Nations Trust Territory Ship, where they trust these territories they trust this territory them into the care of Europeans them like France and England and the rest, for them for look after these territories and prepare them for their independence. Now, 16 years after that Trust Territory Ship agreement, and before that 16 years, Britain been already be inside Cameroon for 32 years. They don't develop nothing. And then now they can't get the Trustee Ship agreement. For prepare this country them, they give them 16 years for prepare this country them for independence. And Britain, 16 years later, they talk say nope. The British Cameroons, they no be ready. May they give them plebiscite, they ask them only 2 questions. The British Cameroonians them, at that time as they call them, you know, like Endele, Fonchamuna, and all this part them where they be there around that time, where they even know how to read and write, where they be big grade 1 teacher them. They try their best for get number 3 option, for get independence on their own. Now the British, they say no. I talk how many times? I talk for which kind of language again? No, I know now only my country talk. Now I talk na Mogamo. I have buried Britain, Uganda. Yes, I have buried, but these crazy people them not them. They say no. Say no way, no how. No straight direct independence. They say we not be ready. We not get population. We not get educated people. We not get this. But now it be been at their job for make sure say these territories them they get all these things them before that time. It be been at their job, but they not do them. They not do them. And then today, when I go hear the Anglophones them, they talk about Anglo-Saxon education. Now nostalgia. When I talk nostalgia, I don't say that all man go school like me. Nostalgia, not just like an overwhelming feeling of something that used to be where you think say they miss them. We know they miss nothing British, because first of all they live nothing. British they live nothing. They do nothing except for raping, rape, R-A-P-P-P-P-E, rape. Now so they do it for Anglophone zone. They rape them, and then today we still feel the raping. We still feel the consequence of their rape. Now what did they do we? And then some Anglophones they can't shit on for you. They talk about how Victoria is Victoria. Then they go shit on the beg British people and say me they can't go help we for divide the country. Me they can't go. Now why that one here I have actually they talk say the United Nations get an unfinished business inside Cameroon. The decolonization process was not completed in Cameroon. They know themselves say the problems inside Cameroon, no be na Francophone man create them, no be na even the French man as well. When they always talk them, when they always try do all things bend them, because when I don't say and say the French and the Francophone people them now na bogey man. Now the person that when I get to blame them for all things. No, now the British. When I hear them from today, no, if no man, now because Anglophones they need something for blame, and because they blame France, they blame the Francophones. Them now they want, they beg an ally. So now they beg say maybe the British people them they feel sympathy on them. They can't help them for this issue. But now the British they cause them. And the British they know very well what way they don't do them. Now one of the reasons that Britain no go ever pay attention to that nonsense, because it go mean say the United Kingdom it accept the mistakes where they cause them, and it accept what way they do them for that territory. And that one it no go ever happen. Now contribute them. The British they no go ever agree. It no go ever happen. Someone will forget. When I forget, it no go ever happen. Say the British people they can't accept say they no do a fine job. It no go ever happen. So now, what the way be the truth and the reality way it then now na say we be stuck. Okay, for that position where we take them, that plebiscite it be recognized by the United Nations. it be conducted by the United Nations. The plebiscite, it be legal, it be legitimate, and it be set. Cameroon, it become an independent country. Now, any person where they talk about restoration, ask you say you restore with it. You feel restore something where nobody don't ever exist. Because, for example, the La République du Cameroon, for instance, as an independent sovereign country, if it show a flag where they began from 1960, 1st of January 1960, as an independent country, they began passports, they began foreign embassies, they began a seat at the United Nations, they be vote inside United Nations for 1960. From the 1st of January 1960, they began all those things a flag, a national anthem, currency, all those things on the 1st of January 1960. Now, wait it be been at the currency, wait it be been at the flag, wait it be been at the anthem, wait it be been at the name of the head of state of the so-called former British Southern Cameroons. When I want to talk so una be independent no, when I want to restore the independent no, when I tell me on the 1st of October 1961, wait to be the name for una president, wait to be una flag, wait to be una anthem. When I talk so una be independent since October 1960, but when I can't get una own national anthem now 4 years ago, when I flag now 4 years ago, till today, still no international recognition, still no passport, still no where no currency, nothing. But when I be already be independent, so when I celebrate 60 years of independence, 60 years, but when I no get flag, when I no get anthem, when I no get currency, when I no get nothing, is that possible? Now, independent country that. So, may we not stop this nonsense and stupidity for be emotional. Every time when I say, Francophone man, they call me say Anglophone. If you are stupid and you are foolish and you are Anglophone, you're not an Anglophone. Ambassador terrorism, it no can prove them right. You don't can prove them right. They were right all along. They were right all along. They were right. We were Anglophones. Mateona, the best thing where our ancestors they be do now for vote for join Francophone Cameroon. Now the best thing that because the only other option it be being awaiting Nigeria where una post them for comment section. Any person there for year where if for prefer for being Nigerian today, type them for comment section. You for prefer okay, or today if they come now they say okay, may they reverse what will be happen for 1961 for that referendum, for that plebiscite. Now all una go vote now for join Nigeria. If they give una the same only those two options now, una go vote now for join which country? Cameroon, even with the situation we they in today, or Nigeria with the situation where we they in today, una go vote now which one? Now simple question that you go vote now which one if you get the option right now today for choose one, Cameroon or Nigeria. You could choose now which one. Today you go hear Anglophones that they talk about or ambassador terrorists. They talk about say Thibaut Nagy don't send tweet. Thibaut Nagy don't send tweet. Now who curse we know and contribute them? Now who curse we with this level of stupidity? Time where Thibaut Nagy be Secretary of State for African Affairs. It no be send tweet. It talk and say they so the United States policy now for one Cameroon. It talk time where be they Secretary of State, Under Secretary for African Affairs. It no give una the independence. It no give una predictions. First of all, it want beginning to predict what will go happen for Cameroon. Nobody be conservative. Nobody conservative government they be go wage war for Afghanistan for 20 years and they lost the war. Why nobody advise them? Where he talks about international diplomat, he know what will go happen before it happen. He know if it advise your own United States government. Wait for do. He can't advise now Cameroon government because they are stupid. And the reason why they send those stupid tweets them now because he knows say we Africans in general will be gullible. He knows they will dull. We go give court check, give like the one they be amber food, they be give Cohen. That other fool way be also been a former Secretary of African Affairs, Cohen. Now what to be the fool in themselves? Something Cohen. Non-entity. They don't sack it. It don't retirement now. Now that time if we talk about una thing. Now that time I go tell una say know how it go end. But time we be there for that position being a cabinet member. It no be give una independence. Now today we can't give una independence through Twitter, of course, Twitter. Now Twitter, it can't give you independence. Master, my contribute them. May we learn for ask basic questions them. Make we understand our own history small. Okay? If it bad now how, make na this crisis, it can't make we will start read some kind of things them. We'll start understand some kind of things them. See, person like a John Gofoncha, Ndele, Muna, and all this other part them, where they be been a grade 1 teacher them, they will feel come together for a common goal. They will feel campaign for something, they will be a better politicians them. For 1957, at that time, John Gofoncha be been at 30-something years old. What do I talk? Eh? They born John Gofoncha now for 1916, if I'm not mistaken. He was either about 40, early 40s or late 30s. But they organized themselves. Grade 1 teacher organized themselves. Do correct politics. You know how difficult it be for leadership. Eh? Which means that you can convince other people them for follow you. Throw away their own ideology. If you can't follow now your own, it's easy. It's easy to get three people them for follow you. Then let alone forget a whole country for follow you. You the craze. Now easy thing. John Gofoncha they been fit do am. They move all the parliamentarians them from the eastern region for Nigeria, come them back for Boya. They move them all. But today, for 2021, 2016, Anglophones, the way they say they get PhD or PhD, but of course you know say not fake PhD them. They tapang them, Ayabacho, them, Sakoi comment them, and Goji Dinka, them, all Anglophones them combined. Plus the one the way they go school, the one they don't go school, they don't feel unite for a common purpose. They work and talk about how what's the Ayabacho they fight Sako, Sako they fight Yerima, Yerima they fight Akwanga, Akwanga they fight what to be Goji Dinka, Goji Dinka they fight all them, Ayabacho they fight all. What? Now who died dash with this level of stupidity? Normal contribute them, eh? Now who died? It dash with this foolishness. Then we go kill ourselves to the extent for name Wasiti, Limbe, for name them after a British queen. The same British way they fuck we so. Yes. Now wait. Now wait. Now wait. Why? Why would do so? Why we don't deny we for learn sense? Why? It be so easy, my country people them, for destroy something where you hate them. And now why that way Amber they go on for radicalize people them by telling them lies, misinformation, fake news and the rest. For make you hate yourself, you hate your country. That way, when you already hate your country, it will be easier for you for destroy them. When you already hate yourself, it will be easier for you for commit suicide. For carry that check out from carry gun, you go for bush, you go die. That is the reason why. But I love my life. Ah, mama me. When I know if you understand how much me I enjoy life, oh, life is the sweetest thing. Ah, when I know if you understand. I digress more. When I know countryman the drive now, and as I drive, I pay attention to the road. Some people they talk say countryman, but how it be say you drive, you do live broadcast at the same time, driving no easy. You might tell us something. When I see I'm on this road, all these lines, the way when I say I'm on this road, they get meaning. If the line, for example, the line to my left, it being a red, there's a reason why. The line to my right, it being a white, there's a reason why. The line will be broken, it get a different meaning from the one will be a solid line. If the line they be two, it get different meaning. All street lights them, all markings, the way they there for the road. For drive for UK, now you get to be a professional. You get to understand how understand the highway code. And they do have other people they say and say, wow, they're like magic for them. And they do have then at the same time they do live broadcast. Live broadcast. Now what I tell you now say I did destroy Ambassador Terrorism Center for my spare time. For my spare time. When I know what I don't do today, business, so I don't run around, do and run. For my private time when me have to just the drive to go for house or the drive to go me for where they go, I can't do live broadcast. And then some shumbu they work and they talk about how countryman they pay me how much? They pay me how much for this level of dedication. They pay me how much? And then when countryman she done 2-3 weeks, it no go live. Someone they come out can't talk. When I enjoy what they do, the small way they do them. Now out of my own goodwill, the way I like Cameroon. That's it. And then again, I digress more again. Like I've been talk about how much I love myself. I wish every person for this planet, if you feel love yourself half as much as I love me. You understand? One of the greatest song where it don't ever be written. The greatest lyrics, the greatest song ever. And I know me say some when I don't hear this song before. Now Whitney Houston is singer. Granted, I go apologize first of all. Say me I no be Whitney Houston, and I no go attempt for try for sing Whitney Houston song. But that song, where now the greatest song of all time. The title for that song, if I'm not mistaken, are the greatest love of all. Person we know that lyrics, we know the song what they talk about Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all. When I know that song where it goes where it talks say the children are the future. Say let them lead the way. You understand? The children are future or are the future. Let them walk and lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. You know, give them a chance to grow and let them and make it easier. You understand? Sorry, I get ambulance where they come from my back. Now, some of these kind of things, the way you drive, you do live broadcast, you look at the road, ambulance, they come behind me. I get to be aware, all the dangers, them hazards, the way they do on the street, at the ambulance, this way don't come past. All these things, them, you get to be at alert. It's not easy. You do at the same time, you do live broadcast. Now, biscuit. Now, see that ambulance that don't come past. It goes off, go save some person in life, I think. So let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail or if I succeed, at least I lived as I believed. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity because of the greatest love of all is in me. I found the greatest love of all. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all. That is the song I'm talking about. Yes, Whitney Houston. I don't chakara the song with my whole voice and my singing. When I manage and so, when I pay me a much, I pay me a much. Yeah, I don't. That's the song I'm talking about. At the driver, I'm gonna look at the lyrics for some side. I just know that song because now the most powerful lyrics that I don't ever hear for my life. That song has a lot of meaning. Learn to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, who will love you? Love yourself that way, you're not going to ever commit suicide. You're not going to ever destroy yourself. Learn to love your country. That way, you could be a patriot. You're not going to ever destroy your country. People, the way they talk, say the country don't spoil. Now who spoil them? Now who spoil them? Now who go fix them? No go fix your own country. You don't for the beginning talk, they don't spoil. And they should not begin to wait for miracles then. Miracles, they can't, some person will come up for different side, it can't fix them for you.
Hail, hail, hail the Kumkumasa, we the Cameroonians, we pledge our loyalty. Kumkumasa, Kumkumasa, you shall free our country from terror. And your blessings shall be like the stars above. The Most High God shall be your guide.
Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Chance to let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I lived as I believed. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity, because the greatest love of all is happening to me. Learning to love yourself, it is the greatest love of all.